Hi, and thanks for tuning into this video on my dispatch application. Broadly, this application serves to dispatch the proper emergency vehicles to emergency incidents and to track those vehicles throughout their responses to those incidents, something that has interested me greatly since my days working as a volunteer EMT. In this video of the series, I'll be showing you the features and functionality of the application from a user's perspective. For a detailed overview and explanation of the code used to write the application, I invite you to see the description section below for the link to my other video, as well as the link to my GitHub page where you can explore the code in its entirety. In addition to those links, you can also find more information on the types of units or emergency vehicles that are discussed in the video. Alright, so let's take a look at the application. So here we are at our dispatcher login page. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. And we are brought here to our incident dashboard page. Lots of information on this page. Let's take a look at the more basic components first. Over here, we have a card containing all units currently in the database, no matter if they're available or unavailable. We have ambulances, paramedic units, fire engines, rescue squads, and fire trucks. Over here on this green card, we have those units that are available to be sent on an incident now. And the number of those, 27. On this yellow card, we have units that are already on an incident. Medic 10, Medic 259, and Rescue Squad 4 are already on a call. You can see that over here in Incident 56. And down here in this red card, we have units that are out of service for either a mechanical reason or maybe the crew got injured, but they are not already on a call. They're just not able to respond to one right now. So if I click on a unit, I'm brought to its unit information page. It displays which unit it is and the type of unit it is. So Ambulance 238 is a basic life support ambulance. On this card here, we see the personnel that have been assigned to this unit. We've got this Billy Joel guy and this Jesse Martyr guy, both of whom are EMT-Bs, basic EMTs. We also have the option to remove them from the unit. This card over here, I see its unit status, which is currently available, and it's in service. Now, they can radio to me and tell me that they're experiencing an issue and that they need to be taken out of service. Let's say they get a flat tire. So when they let me know that, I come over here, click Take Unit Out of Service, then their status changes to out of service. We see that reflected over here. Ambulance 238 is no longer available. It's now down here in the out of service card. The same can be done for Ambulance 43. Let's say they're currently out of service and they radio me and say, hey, we fixed the issue, we're ready for more calls. Please place us in service. So I can come over here, click this button here, and the unit will now be available in service. Ambulance 43 is no longer in the out of service card, it is up here, available. So down here, you can see we have three buttons. One for Create New Rescuer, one for Create New Unit, and one for Personnel. These two buttons over here probably won't be used that often. We might click this button here if somebody gets hired or added to the department and we need to enter their information. We would do that here. This Create New Unit button we would use if a new unit was added to the fleet. Let's say we got a new rescue squad or a new fire engine. Or if another unit was brought in to help handle higher call volume, we would enter its information here so that it would be in our database. The button we'd probably use more often is this Personnel button. If I click this button here, I'm brought to this Personnel page here. On the right, I see a list of all personnel currently in the database. That's a long list. And on the left I see a list of personnel who are available to be assigned to a unit. In the status column, everybody's status is available for assignment here. That is not the case over here in all personnel. Some people are available and others are already assigned to a unit, and it tells us which unit they're assigned to. So, to make it easier for the person doing the assigning, I have color-coded the rescuers according to their rank. Basic EMTs, or EMT-Bs, are light blue. Paramedics are gold. Firefighter 1s are this reddish color, and Firefighter 2s are orange. Lieutenants are white. So let's say I want to add a rescuer to a unit. We'll say Firefighter 1 Pat Beaudry. So I can come over here, click on this available for assignment link, and I'm brought to this page here. And it gives me the types of units that I can assign him to: engines and fire trucks. Notice there are no rescue squads here, there are no ambulances here, and there are no medic units here. That's because Firefighter 1s can only ride fire engines and fire trucks. If I were to click on EMT-B John Conley, the only type of unit that would appear here for me to assign him to would be ambulances. And not medic units, because only full-blown paramedics are qualified to ride medic units. So let's assign Firefighter 1 Pat Beaudry. Let's say I want to assign him to Engine 231. Well, I come here, select Engine 231, and click Assign Firefighter 1 Pat Beaudry to Engine. And then I'm taken to Engine 231's page, and you can see Pat Beaudry appears here. We see his last name, his first name, his rank, and also a link to remove him from the unit if we want to. If we want to add additional personnel to this unit, we can do that by clicking this here. If we come back here to our personnel page, we see that Pat Beaudry, well, he's not here anymore in this available column because he's not available. He has been assigned to a unit. And here we see him over here. In the status column, it doesn't say available for assignment, it says assigned to unit. And here we see the unit to which he has been assigned. If I click on his rescuer profile, I also see that information down here, along with the option to remove him from that unit. If I click on the rescuer profile of somebody who has not been assigned, like Tigger Bouncy, I see that down here we have no unit assignment, and then a button that will take us to the Assign to Unit page. All right. So now let's have a look at the real meat and potatoes of this application, the incident table. As you can see, we have different classes of incidents here. Incident number 51 is complete. Nothing I can do to it here. Incidents 52 and 56 are dispatched, but incident 52 is basically almost over. It has no units remaining on the call. All units have been taken off the call, and all that needs to be done is for it to be marked complete. Incident 56 is still in progress, and it has 3 units currently on it. And incident 58 has just been entered into the database and is awaiting dispatch. That's why it's blinking red, because it requires action from the dispatcher. So if I look at incident 56, I see that I have 3 units, Medic 10, Rescue Squad 4, and Medic 259. But wait, why is Medic 10 a different color than Rescue Squad 4 and Medic 259? Well, let's take a look at Rescue Squad 4's unit page. Rescue Squad 4 has a unit status of on a call. That makes sense because it's on this call. And its response status is on the scene. It's there. It has arrived on the scene of the incident. Medic 10 has a unit status of on a call, but its response status is still en route. it has not yet arrived on the scene. Maybe it got stuck in traffic, or maybe it was coming from farther away. That's why it is orange. Medic 259 is also on the scene. So I've color-coded the units based on their progress throughout the call, based on their response status. That way a good dispatcher who knows the colors well can easily tell what stage of the call a unit is at. When the statuses of the unit change, that's what these buttons here are for. So when Medic 10 finally arrives on the scene, they'll let the dispatcher know, and the dispatcher will come and update their status here to on the scene, which will make them green over here. So let's now explore how a 911 call is answered and properly handled using this application. We'll walk through an entire incident from the time it is generated all the way through to its completion. When I receive a call as a 911 dispatcher, I need to click this button here, where I'll be then prompted to enter the pertinent call information. So let's say the caller tells me that the location is 213 West Institute Place, and it's already in the system because we run there quite frequently. And they tell me that it is a 21-year-old male with an injured jaw, but he is conscious and he is alert. Well, I know from my dispatcher training that because this patient is conscious, they are alert, and there's no bleeding, there's no trouble breathing, there's no decreased level of consciousness, there's no reason that this needs to be an advanced life support medical call. I don't need to select ALS here. I can keep it as basic life support call. So now that I have all this information properly entered, and when the incident is generated, I'm ready to click Generate New Incident. Okay, great. So we see this incident has been added to our database and our incident table. Now, it's blinking in red because its status is awaiting dispatch, which means it requires action from the dispatcher, namely to send units to it. So let's do that right now. So when I click this link here, I'm brought to this page here, which gives me the incident information on top and a list of available units of all categories down here. Now, depending on the type of call that it is, in this case medical basic life support, a recommendation will show up here, a recommendation for dispatch. In this case, because it's a medical BLS call, the recommendation is 1 ambulance per number of injured persons. Well, I know that I have 1 injured person, this 21-year-old male here, and so I need just 1 ambulance. Well, here's my list of available ambulances. I happen to know that ambulance 38 is closest to the scene. So I'm going to go ahead and click ambulance 38, and it's going to ask me to confirm that I want to dispatch ambulance 38 to this incident. I have the option to cancel the dispatch and choose another ambulance, or I have the option to, in fact, dispatch ambulance 38. So let's go ahead and do that now. And as we can see, ambulance 38 has been added to the call. But wait, why is it red and why is it blinking? Well, as we've seen, when things are red and they're blinking, they usually require some action from the dispatcher. So what action is that? Well, let's click on ambulance 38 to get a better understanding. Ambulance 38's unit status is on a call, that we know, but its response status is set to dispatched. It is not en route, it is not on the scene. This unit has only just been alerted that it needs to respond to this incident. But what if it's 3 o'clock in the morning and these EMT-Bs are fast asleep in their beds at the station? How is the dispatcher going to know that they've received the message? Well, it's not until they actually start responding to the incident that they are supposed to let the dispatcher know that they are, in fact, en route. At that point, the dispatcher, once they've received confirmation from the unit, can come over here and mark them en route. And then ambulance 38 will turn orange. Now, if the dispatcher notices that they're orange for a particularly long time, they can ask, hey, ambulance 38, what's your estimated time of arrival? Is everything okay? Are you stuck in traffic? Because the dispatcher knows that this color corresponds to en route. Once ambulance 38 finally does arrive on the scene, they will let the dispatcher know, and the dispatcher will mark them on the scene, at which point their color here on the incident table will turn to green. Once they finish up on scene and are ready to transport, they'll let the dispatcher know. The dispatcher will mark them en route to the hospital. And once they're at the hospital, the dispatcher will mark them at the hospital, at which point they'll turn to dark blue. Now, when they're finished at the hospital, they can let the dispatcher know, and the dispatcher will come over here and click Clear of Incident. And that will essentially remove ambulance 38 from this call. So let's see what happens when we do that. Click this button here, and I'm taken to this Confirm Action page. The system wants me to be sure that I'm aware that I'm marking ambulance 38 clear of this incident, and that I'm also placing it back in service, which means making it available for another call, even 15 seconds after they drive away from the hospital. So of course, I can cancel, or I can in fact proceed. So when I clear ambulance 38, you can see it is no longer on the call, right? It's no longer on a call. It is here, back in available units. If we click on it, its status says available in service, right? And this incident here is still in the dispatched phase, but it's basically almost over. It had only one unit responding, and that unit has been cleared. So we get this message, no units remaining, mark incident complete. So that's all that's remaining for us to do, to mark the incident complete. So let's see what happens when we click this link. When we click the link, we're of course brought to a confirmation page. This is so that we don't accidentally click that link and complete an incident when we don't want to. And we have a choice. We can either cancel if we have accidentally clicked it, or we can click Terminate Incident Number 59. Let's do that. So when I click Terminate Incident Number 59, you can see that the incident turns gray because its status has been changed from dispatch to complete, and there's no more action I can take with it. It's effectively over. And up here, you can see that the number of active incidents has changed from 4 to 3, given that number 59 is no longer active. All right, so we have just seen an entire incident from start to finish. Starting from the 911 call being answered and relevant information being documented, to the unit being dispatched and tracked throughout its response, all the way to the incident being marked complete. It's quite a process. That brings the overview of my dispatch application to a close. Again, check out the description section below for the link to the next video in which I cover the code used to create this application. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or comments, and again, thank you so much for watching.